Welcome back to the Cousin Collective. I am, of course, your girl Monay,
And I am your girl, Capree.
and thank you for joining us again for another episode. How was your week, Capri?
Vaguely remember it. But I will say today, I'm tired of fighting for ice. That's it. That's it. I am tired of fighting for ice. Every time I go, it's specifically Hardee's. Every time I go to Hardee's, I ask for an extra cup of ice. And first of all, I asked for a large, okay? And I saved this specifically for this moment. I asked for a medium meal and a large cup of ice. You want to know what they gave me? This is what they gave me.
That is not a large cup of ice.
That's not even a small. I don't even know what that is. Let me turn my phone off. And so I'm like, can I get a bigger cup? And she's like, well, it's going to be extra. Did I ask you that?
Right. I didn't ask for a free cup of ice. I asked
Right.
for a large. Give me what I asked for.
And if you wanted to disclose that, you should have done that back at the speaker. But don't just give me what you think I should have. Girl, I'm so tired of fighting with y'all. And then I asked for that. I asked for a Sprite because I was like, I just need something. Not that it even do it. It don't even have caffeine in it, but in my mind it does. Um, so I got a Sprite. I always get the only thing I really get from there are that little $5 bag of chicken tenders. Cousins, I'm learning how to edit still, but if I can add in the picture of the little baby ass chicken tenders that they gave me, I'm gonna insert it right now. I'm gonna do my best so y'all can see that little mess. The box is even smaller.
So I
Those
gave
were
you
chicken
baby chicken
nuggets.
tenders and a baby cup.
And it won't even five. I paid for five. Girl. So then
Blame it
she
on the food.
finally gave me a cup of ice. I'm like, can you? This is like the second or the third time that I've gone to Hardee's and had to basically fight for a cup. The last time the lady was trying to get me to go to Zaxby's, you can get a bag. I didn't ask you that. I
So
didn't
she's
ask
sending you
you.
somewhere else.
Yeah, first of all, not only is that poor marketing for your store,
Right.
but that's not what I asked you for. I asked you for a cup of ice. So yeah, that's where I'm at today. So I don't even remember the week other than it was work as usual, you know. And tomorrow's back at it, 8 to 5. Yeah, that was how that's this how my weekend did.
We need to invest into a ice machine for your house.
Listen, don't think I don't have one in my Amazon wish list because I do. I have it's one of those ones you can put on, but they're like $500. So I might have to take up a donation.
You might need to
But,
be a temporary sugar baby real quick.
right, just for some ice, just for some ice. Because I'm like, dude, give me the ice. It's not even your money, like you were talking about the other day. They be gatekeeping the heck out of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and I get it. You want to inform the customer of the additional charge. But again, I asked you for this at the speaker. You should
Yeah.
have done it then. Don't say okay and then give me what you think I should have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Girl, get my eyes.
It ain't that serious.
It ain't. Girl, that's so yeah. How you been? How was
Well,
your day?
it was the week was a drag, man. Like I
I
was off
agree.
Monday. So I don't know why that always happens. Like if it's a short week on the back end, it does kind of fly by. But if
Mm-hmm.
it's a short week on the front end, it's like, come
Girl,
on.
it is. It is a drag.
It makes me not even want to take a day off in the beginning of the week for real because I'd be struggling to get to the
Mm-hmm.
weekend.
Mm-hmm.
My days just seem so long. So other than that, I just been crafting and stuff.
Same girl. That's it, girl. Well, I don't know. I just
I did make some bomb chicken spaghetti last night.
Oh, how was it?
It was so good. And I think my old roommates from Central showing me that recipe. Cause listen,
So what all did you put in it?
just chicken breast,
Mm-hmm.
seasoning, cook it on top of the stove, and I shred it, and rotel tomatoes, and I have to do the original because
Okay.
Charlie's
Allergies.
she don't
No
she don't
allergies.
like spicy food. She's scared that it's gonna give her another asthma attack.
Poor thing. She's, you know what? You gotta commend the girl because she don't play. She
She
don't
don't.
play about her health and the things that she put in her body.
She don't.
That little
She's
girl
like,
don't
is it
play.
spicy? Nope. I ain't going back to the hospital.
Oh, it was made next door to a facility that has tree nuts. I don't want
Nope.
it. Like, girl, it was next door. I don't care. I don't want it.
So she do not play about that. So I did the original rotel, and then unfortunately, I need to figure out how to, I guess, make a cheese sauce like I would my mac and cheese because I use the Velveeta cheese, and I look at it like government cheese.
Mm-hmm.
But I've used Velveeta cheese, and that's it. And spaghetti noodles.
Put cheese in the spaghetti. Oh, you baked it.
No, it's on top of the stove. I cook my chicken, then I pour my tomatoes in there, let that simmer a little bit, and then I cut the block of Velveeta cheese up, and then put little blocks all over the place, and put the top back on, and let the steam make it melt. Girl was busting. It was good.
Cousins, this is not an unusual response for me. I'm often side eyeing her. Like some of the stuff.
I'll make it for you
My
one day.
stomach is just be like, girl, no, because I'm sensitive as crap.
I'll
The
make it for you when I make it
jalapenos,
like regular cheese sauce, like mac and cheese, because it's like mac and cheese on top of the
I just
stove.
can't see. Only time I can't. Other than baked spaghetti from K&W, because I don't want to have it no other way. That's the only time I can put cheese in my spaghetti.
Not on that meal.
Because
It does taste like a
it makes it creamy.
Spanish kind of dish, if you will, because it's the rotel tomatoes. You know what I'm saying?
I could do that. I think I could try the rotel. So you did that instead of spaghetti sauce?
Right. So you know what? You know how people make the rotel dip with the hamburger?
Mm-hmm.
It's just that, except for chicken and noodles.
It's just no. I put my spaghetti. It's gonna be. I do the onions and the bell peppers and the garlic, and my garlic seasoning because I love garlic. I put garlic in everything, and I put pepperoni. Sometimes, if I'm being extra, I get the Italian ground sausage, the sweet Italian sausage, and mix that in with the because I use turkey, or just leave it out. But I always put, and that's it. That is it.
Yeah, you can't knock a seed tray. You like it, I promise.
I
don't
can
think
eat the
it's steered you
cheese on the
wrong
cheese
yet.
toast. I'm knocking it. I don't know, cousins. What do y'all think? Cheese in the spaghetti, or as a
Chicken
baked
spaghetti.
situation? Chicken spaghetti as a baked situation. How would you have you tried that before? I can see the rotel though. I like rotel.
Yeah, and I've seen people cook it in the crock pot too, so it all just, but you know how I am. I like to pour my stuff on top of my noodles. I do not like it mixed together unless it's baked.
Yeah, I like my stuff separate than for my noodles.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well,
you'll try it one day.
Look, the jalapenos that I ate the other night, those stuffed jalapenos. Like I said, they were so good, but honey, 15 minutes later, 15.
That's it. That's all.
My stomach was like, girl, you knew better than that. You knew better than that. So I was like,
that cheese and that spice, boy, it'll kill you every time.
And they weren't even that hot. Well, I grew up eating hot stuff. But yeah, my stomach just ain't the same, as you get. I ain't gonna say it has anything to do with age. It's just
your palate changes.
Not even that. I do have GI issues. So just I have to really be careful of the mixtures of stuff that go in my system because they won't be pretty.
So you can live through me then with the chicken spaghetti.
Now I do eat chicken spaghetti. I've made chicken spaghetti just minus the cheese because I make it too. But it's that cheese. Unless it's the baked spaghetti from K&W. Didn't you say there was one still open up here? Or was that me and you that were talking?
I think they all closed. I think they were closing little by little.
I
Because
thought
when
you
I
just
looked
talked
up
about one
here,
was open.
I don't
I'm gonna
think
have to
so.
look into it.
I think they're all closed.
That's what I was told. That's what I thought. Because so
I
my
think
mama
it
used to
went.
work
The
there.
whole company itself went bankrupt. I
Somebody just
think.
told me that a KNW was. I'm gonna look into it. Cause honey, yeah, someone just told me, like, not even. I'm gonna say it ain't even been 2 months ago there was a KNW open. I thought that was a conversation I had with you, but I guess not. I mean, how many other people do I talk to? I don't know. Anyway, well, that's enough of that. So what's on the agenda?
So, call me old school, but everybody should not be allowed to your house, your castle, your his naive.
I agree. I agree for several reasons. I will say mostly because I'm gonna say 2 reasons. My 2 top reasons now is, one, I don't know where you been, and we in the middle of
A Patricia.
girl pepperonis everywhere. Ain't got time. Um, that part. And 2, I've always been the type of person. First of all, you can't just invite somebody to my house because you're invited. Okay.
Yeah.
That part. Because I don't know what they do when, I don't know their life.
Right.
And they might try to come in here and try to case the joint and come back and send somebody to rob me, anything. So it's a no. It's a hard no.
Yeah.
Everybody can't come up in your house.
And see,
Even
when
people no, everybody can't come up in my house.
That too. When I was a kid, I didn't understand that. My dad was super serious about that. But he shared with me that, I mean, he was robbed by somebody he knows.
See?
And so he was super serious about that. But the older I got, I truly understand, because I now understand, like, more so along the spiritual side of it. Like, people be leaving bad vibes when they leave. And I ain't got time. Yes, for real. Energy is everything.
Period.
Yeah, it really is. On top of, someone can come back and take what you got. I mean, whatever, but take what you got, whether big or small, it's still your home, your safe space.
And back to the energy part, you're not going to come in my house with your bad energy and make me feel uncomfortable in my own space.
Right. I mean, they can still leave it behind when they leave,
That too.
I've experienced that too.
Like a bad fart. I ain't got time. Take you and your fart smell and go. Because they be lingering.
You're dumb.
They be lingering, honey.
You're stupid. But yeah, girl, and people don't treat your space like you do too.
They don't.
Up your, and they gone. This ain't their house. They're going back to theirs.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Well, I was listening to the radio, and it's been a couple of weeks ago, and it was something on satellite radio, and I heard a story about a couple who had gotten married, and when they got to the reception, there were people who RSVP'd but didn't show, so they sent them invoices. What say you?
Listen, I've never heard of that before, but I'm here for it. I am. Listen, especially those people who really put a lot of money into their receptions. Yeah. I was lucky to do mine a little on the cheap side, but there are people who really put a lot of money into their receptions. Like, people plates be like $100 a person.
Yeah, that food budget is a huge part of the freaking wedding.
That alone is enough.
Yeah.
To invoice somebody.
Yeah.
Or when they pay for open bars and stuff like that, like, they're accounting for when the decorations.
I agree.
They're still accounting for the seating.
I agree.
And if you RSVP and you don't show up, man, that's terrible. Or don't. I think I heard the story too, and they didn't say nothing at all. Like, I don't think they even
Mitch said they
It was
weren't
like a
coming.
no call, no show.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. And again, unless it's something that's an emergency or something, but just because you just woke up and felt like you didn't want to go after you RSVP.
Or if we're in the pepperoni, you know, I get it because, you know, people don't want to
That part,
out
because
there in these streets. But
that part. But I'm gonna say let's take that out of it, because I can specifically say that. But see, the difference is that I paid for my ticket and I didn't go to something because, you know, the comedy show. But that's the difference. I paid for mine, so so I'm gonna take that back. So, but if you RSVP for something like a wedding reception, I agree. I've never heard of it, and I probably wouldn't have thought to do that. But like, look, put that on the RSVP. If you don't show, you will receive
disclaimer,
an
like
invoice
for real.
at the bottom, for real, because
If you don't RSVP, you don't eat or have a seat.
that part.
If you RSVP and you don't show up, you gonna pay up.
That's that part. Especially if it's a huge amount of people.
Absolutely.
Because
them places get expensive.
They do get expensive. They do. They really do. They really do. Yeah. That's crazy. But I thought it was, I was chuckling. I was like,
it's funny because, like I said, I've never heard anybody doing it, but I'm here for it.
Me either. But I'm like, okay. Put that in the atmosphere. Nah, I'm more like, did y'all send a PayPal? What y'all do? You sent a cash out request? And I wonder what their relationship is now with those people.
Yeah.
Like, does that tarnish the relationship?
Yeah.
I wonder.
Because the person who received the invoice probably was like, what
in the entire? No, yeah, they did.
People start making people pay for tickets to go to the reception. Then they'll start.
Because some people really don't know how much these things really cost. They don't understand what goes into planning any event. But you know, when you start talking about food and an event, that's expensive. Whether it's a buffet or what, it's expensive. Yeah. You're paying per person.
Per person. And if you go to a venue,
because you got to get all the stuff that they say you gonna get if you have to get it catered through the venue.
Yeah, man.
There are minimum requirements, and the minimum requirements ain't no minimum money. Girl.
Dude, anywhere, like I've noticed lately, like restaurants and stuff are doing that. When you do a reservation, they have a minimum requirement of how much you have to spend.
Didn't something like that happen to that restaurant we went to in Richmond, the Southern place? Didn't they put something into our?
No, it was our gratuity.
Oh, okay.
They automatically charge a certain gratuity.
Well, the comedy place that I was supposed to go to,
yeah,
they require a 2-item minimum when for you to come, which is fine, but because they still got to make their money. I'm assuming it's obviously separate. Maybe they don't take money off the top from the tickets. I don't know how that works, but
I don't know, because I experienced it. I know I experienced it when we went to a cigar lounge up here, $50 a person minimum spending, and I was like, dang, okay.
Got to make that money,
right? Yeah. But then when you, like I said, when you do reservations, like you reserve a party room or something like that, you have to spend a certain amount. You're counting on those people to show up to help get to that cost, and then when they don't show up, you're stuck.
Yeah, you gotta
covering the difference, and that sucks. People just
like, if you can't come, just say you can't come.
Right.
But if you're not going to come, at least the courtesy of calling or texting or emailing to say, hey, I'm not going to be able to make it. And of course, last minute emergencies, like life-threatening emergencies, of course, they don't count. But some of the people already knew the day before they weren't going to show that they weren't going to go. You can't make me believe they didn't.
I definitely believe they probably did. That's how people work. And it's normally... Sorry, it's the truth.
Why do we do this? Because everybody knows. Ooh, if you know what it meant. Oh gosh, I don't know what it is. Why we tend to be that way? At least if it is them, they don't make it known like we do.
Right. Well, I know what it is. Well, it's my assumption. I think it's our culture. A lot of times we just sweep things under the rug in the sake of for the sake of family. Like we be pissed off at so and so, but blood is thicker than water, so they're gonna be my family. I feel like them white folks they be getting it out, and then they be like, "All right, we still cool." Like they talk about it.
Hold it
We
in.
let stuff, be held in, and no, start calling them jokers out and feel uncomfortable.
You cannot protect your energy if you don't. Seriously, that's part of self-care, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
that stuff that you let sit inside of you, it just festers and it builds up and it causes all kind of other negative things, break down your body, your mental space. It's not worth it.
And just because I call you out, don't mean that we can't still be cool.
Right.
That's another thing. People don't want to hear it or they don't want to do it because they feel like it's gonna be the end of
everybody afraid of the truth.
Yeah.
Call them out, B.
And you gotta accept it and move on.
Yeah. Accept responsibility for the mess that you do.
Accountability.
I was just thinking about that today because I was watching The Love and Marriage Huntsville. I don't think you do you watch that? I don't think you watched that. But anyway, long story short, and then we can move on. One of the spouses had cheated and they're divorced and blah blah blah. But and it happened a couple years ago, but there's things happening, you still have to talk about it. And so they were talking about it, and I was just listening to him, and I didn't really watch it. I haven't watched every episode. I'm not gonna say how lie. But I know about the gist of what's going on. But it didn't even have anything to do with watching the entire seasons and stuff. But he did not want to accept accountability for anything that he had done. It's like, I don't know if it's because if he felt guilty or if it was just embarrassment, but whatever it was, it's like, I was listening to it while I was brushing my teeth, and I was like, dude, if people would just fess up to their mess, you would get more respect from people. I respect you more if you just be like, yeah, I fucked it.
Yeah.
Big, I messed up. We'll get demonetized early before we get monetized. Anyway, so yeah, I messed up. Like, and move on. Learn from it. Don't repeat it. And move the heck on.
Yeah.
That's it. I respect people more for just coming clean.
Yeah.
Recognizing their faults. But yeah. But anyway. Let's move on into the meat and potatoes.
The juicy part. Today's topic is a little touchy for me. Did you have any insecurities growing up? If yes, what were they and why did you have them? And have you overcome them as an adult? And if so, how?
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. We talked about this briefly. And I think I said I did not have any that I recall. But I do remember telling you about the prom dress.
Yes.
Went prom dress shopping with my friends and tried on a dress, and everybody thought I was so beautiful in it. It was a very fitted dress. It was spaghetti strap, had a little bit of lace going on up here, and fitted, and then it flared out at the bottom. Like had like a train type, not it fit all the way down. And I just remember doing that side of you, girl. And like, I remember that like it was yesterday. So in hindsight, I did have insecurities about my weight. I did not dwell on them. They did not eat me up. I didn't think about them, but in moments like that definitely was a insecure moment. And that was mainly because it wasn't even honestly, and I mean, some people are gonna be like, oh my God, but it's just my truth is my truth.
Yeah.
It wasn't even friends and people in school. I didn't get bullied in school. I didn't get, I mean, I had people who tried me growing up, but I wasn't getting bullied in school and, picked on and stuff like that. I would hear a lot of this stuff from my family. I was fat. I was overweight. I was like 130 pounds in high school. And I felt like I was 200 pounds when I put that dress on. Like, not that 200 pounds is wrong.
Right.
But that's how I felt. And see, me growing up back then, you didn't hear about girls being thick and stuff like that. You were either skinny or you weren't.
Yeah.
You were fat.
Yeah.
So I was looked at as being a fat girl to people in my family. And I didn't cry about it. I didn't argue back and forth. I just would brush it off. And I didn't dwell on it because I still had a level of
confidence.
Yeah, I did have a level of confidence in me. But those types of things in those moments, stuff like that would
it was like a little voice in the back of your head.
It's like
a little.
Yeah,
because it wasn't always there, but it was there and you were aware.
And I'm not even gonna say it was always there. It's like I feel like I get up every morning. First of all, I dress for my body type. Mm-hmm. So I never had to, and for me, that was outside of my normal daily dress wear, right? Mm-hmm. To go put on a dress. That was like the first time that I can no. I mean, because I had gone, because I was in the ROTC, so I had gone to like my military balls and stuff like that. But those dresses were different. Mm-hmm. Those were like them straight up old school prom dresses with the short in the front, the long in the back. Girl, hot mess. If I can find a picture, I'm gonna show y'all one of my pictures. But this dress prom is different, right? Yeah. And so yeah. It wasn't the dress I ended up wearing to prom, even though I didn't go to my own prom. I ended up going to another prom, but it wasn't the dress that I ended up buying. It was a little more, it was fitted, but it was a little more loose in the waist. So it kind of like hid everything. So I felt comfortable. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I didn't wake up. I didn't tell myself, oh my God, I'm fat and I'm ugly. I never thought that. But in those moments, I would say in a moment like that, because that moment didn't happen often. I mean, it was prom. So yeah, but I had other things going on in my childhood that to me had really nothing to do with, it was more my relationships and stuff with certain people in my family versus how I felt about myself. To me, that took precedence over, So yeah, that's.
So the second part of the question though, like, have you overcome it as an adult? Like,
listen, y'all can get all this size 2022, honey. Shoot. No, I do need to lose some weight. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm trying. That is one of my goals for 2022 because I've always been comfortable for the most part in my weight. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, I am who I am. That is actually something that I know I can do, but now it's starting to affect my day to day. So you start to feel it, but I still don't personally feel like if you can't, if what I look like bothers you, don't deal with me, because I'm very secure in who I am. I would say like in my early 20s, I had insecurities in relationships, but it wasn't about my weight to me. It was just about, I'll say like one of my relationships, my boyfriend was super materialistic. I was a single mother. I was living in a project. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have the things that he thought I should have, the clothes that he thought I should wear, and stuff like that. So I don't know if I felt insecure or is it just because he just made me sad. So he would make me cry because he made me feel like I wasn't good enough for him. And in my mind, I wanted that to work. So of course, that made me feel a type of way. But I didn't feel like you too big, you too this, you too that. And I don't know if any of that had anything to do with an insecurity or just someone who just made me feel like crap because
Yeah.
I could not be who he wanted me to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I also was in my 20s.
Mm-hmm.
So I also had to learn like, and I started to learn very quickly, you can kick rocks.
Yeah.
Because that is not at the top of my list. And to this day, it's still not at the top of my list. Materialistic things, labels and stuff. Do I like nice things? Absolutely. But that doesn't determine who I am as a person. And I don't look to people to be rocking this and wearing like and what they have and what kind of car they look. Mm-mm. But I had to realize and that was the start of me learning to scratch the surface and dig deep and start to learn who I really was as a person and set boundaries for people. And start to protect my energy. Seriously, we weren't talking about energy back then, but
Right.
protecting your space and your mental wellness because you're not getting ready to have me up here crying and making me think that something's wrong with me.
Right.
Because the mess that how you feel, you're not going to. I was looking for someone to validate me. That's what I need to say.
Yeah.
And then I had to learn that, girl, no, that's not how this goes. That's not how any of this goes. So, but now I'm about to be 43. That stuff is long gone. That was 20 something years ago. You can kiss my tail. Like, now it's like, you know how I am.
Yeah.
I mean, not even just with men, but people, period. I protect my space. And I expect for people in my life to respect my space.
Yeah.
Or I will limit myself around you. Or disappear. I mean, some people you can't disappear from 100%, but I would definitely pull back because it took a long time to get here. And I ain't playing. I'm gatekeeping the crap out of it. So, I just had to, I didn't go to therapy back then. I used to write a lot. I journaled a lot. And that's how I dealt with a lot of my feelings. I started journaling when I was in 8th grade. And I went to a therapist when I was in 8th grade. I think I went a couple times, but one of the things that I picked up from that was one of those visits was to write. And I have been writing ever since. So if I felt a certain way about somebody, especially if it was an adult or something, I knew I couldn't be disrespectful and talk because we didn't have voices back then. If you told an adult how you felt about something, you were being disrespectful. They weren't trying. It's their way or the highway. You're a child, know your place. You don't have feelings. You know all that whole situation. So I would write. I would write. I would sit in my room and I would write. And there's a lot of stuff. I mean, it's a lot of that stuff is gone because it was lost in one of the floods or whatever. But yeah, I would just write. And to this day, sometimes I'll jot stuff down, drop my thoughts down. But honestly, nowadays, I just nip it in the bud. Get it out.
Yeah. That's good.
So, what about you?
Good. So, one of my biggest insecurities as a child was my skin color.
Oh, wow.
So the main reason was my dad was light skinned. My mom is light skinned. My sister's light skinned.
Okay.
And then here I go, a little chocolate baby. You know what I'm saying? But back then, when I was a child, well, darker skin hasn't become acceptable until recently or valued as much until recently. So as a child, man, the people that I knew that knew my family dynamic they would say some hurtful stuff, suggesting that I was adopted. And then that really started me thinking like, am I adopted? Knowing I look like me and my sister look just two different colors, skin colors. But yeah, like my skin color was a big problem for me. But what turned that around, or started to turn that around, was, my parents both got divorced, and then my dad met my bonus mom, and she is my skin complexion. And she was a woman who, back then, still to this day, honey,
So,
I'm it.
okay.
Okay. And I never saw anybody else in my circle or close to me that had that type of confidence with her skin complexion. So, and I shared with her that that was one of my biggest struggles, and she definitely helped me overcome
Mm-hmm.
some of that. But I can't lie and say that I didn't take that over into some of my adult years, because I shared with you around my 30th birthday, like how I'm not self-confident. Remember that? And like, especially when I've had children and I've gained weight, and when I'm trying to pick out clothes. And so it wasn't really more so my skin complexion anymore. It started to be my body.
And then you slayed the heck out that dress.
I did.
I was like, girl, if you don't put that damn thing on.
I know. And I think, I mean, I acknowledged at that time that I think a lot of our issues in general is that we see social media, we see reality TV shows, and then now, I mean, I'm not down on anybody, but people getting the BBLs and stuff, and they, looking like Instagram models and all that. So then we're looking at them because that's all we see. And then when you have a natural body that's not like tight and Coke bottle shape or whatever, yeah, there are times that I'll be like, hey, and I would feel like really low about myself. Do I still to this day? I have moments. I'm not even gonna lie. I have moments, but I'm better. As you can see, you were just, at my house the other day, and you started putting on that orange dress, and I was like,
That
girl.
girl was like, okay.
So I think I had to learn how to, like you said, shop for clothes that complement my body. I can't. Another thing I had a problem with is like I would buy clothes based off of the size, at like anybody else could see the size of my clothes besides myself. So if I needed to go up, and I couldn't stop shopping in the junior section.
Girl, you know that thing used to worry me. I be like, it's out.
You be like, why are you still in the junior section? It's like,
you don't go buy your darn size, because in your mind you have to accept that. Oh my God. But it's like, that does not make you less beautiful. And then at the end of the day, if you want to change it, you have the power to do so.
Right.
So that part, it's just going to take some discipline. It's going to have to start up here to get that executed, and, then lose the weight. Yeah. But, we are our own worst critics. And a lot of that comes from society.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in my opinion, all of it comes from society. Because you had these what standard beauty looked like, whether it was our complexion, whether it was our body type, whether it was our hair, whatever. But we have to undo a lot of those things. So
yeah,
it just, at the end of the day, to me, it kind of goes back to what I told you one of my cousins told me when I was growing up, about loving yourself, and no one's going to love you the way you love yourself. So you really truly have to love yourself. And then when you find that, get into that space, then you're not going to worry about what other people think about you. That is a big issue in this world. Like, people really, really invest too much of their time and energy into wondering what someone else is going to think about them.
Yeah.
Don't care, because guess what? Everyone is different. So this person's taste and whatever, whether it's about the way you look, your personality, your whatever, versus this person's taste is gonna be different. You can't please them both, and you shouldn't have to. That's not your job. Your job is to be the best version of you, whatever that looks like.
Yeah. And I can honestly say here lately, maybe the last year or so, my growth has come from me making sure that periodically I find something about myself that I love and I acknowledge it.
Mm-hmm.
Am I perfect yet? No, but
Never
it's
gonna be
helping.
perfect.
It's definitely helping for me to literally embrace me, like outside of my physical body, right? Who I am at the core is amazing, right? So yeah, I could say I'm a lot better now than I was 2 years ago.
Let me make a note about that, about the core, because I laugh at people every day. I love to people watch. I'm not without fault. Sometimes I laugh stuff I'm supposed to laugh at. Lord forgive me. But sometimes, not sometimes, I see a lot of times. It's, you know what? I'm not going to take that back, because a lot of times these are the people making videos about themselves on TikTok, for instance. I see videos sometimes of people, women, they'll post videos of them and then their partner. And then the question will be, people ask, how did I get this person, or whatever. And what you just said, it plays a huge role. People don't understand that whether it's a man or a woman, I mean, yes, we are attracted by things sometimes, the what we see. But that's just a small piece.
Very small.
Someone that you may not feel that you may feel is visually unattractive for whatever reason. I'm not just talking about looks. I can talk about whatever it is that you find unattractive about that person visually can completely change when you get to know that person. I've met some very attractive men. I'm talking fine with like three O's in it. Okay. Open their mouth.
Yeah.
So it's like getting to know that person, is that character, the personality. That's what bonds people, because when you're older, honey, all that looks gonna go out the door for both of you.
They are.
It's like, at the end of the day, those looks is not what's gonna keep your relationship together. And a lot of men, I even see that on social media. That part. I see men on social media, like, it's not even, I don't know where they live, but they talk about, just the core of a woman, and what really is important to them. And I also feel like women sometimes spend more time trying to impress other women.
Yeah, but they're not going to admit that.
They're not going to admit it. You're trying to.
I can admit I've been there.
Another woman.
You do.
I'm trying to be cuter than you. Like, for what? And when I come in the room, if I'm not matching what you matching, or even friends, I didn't know you was gonna wear that.
So, yeah, I can tell you. Listen, I used to be like that, but I can tell you, I know I've grown, because this past weekend when we went out, I was like, the heck am I getting dressed up with heels and that's not me anymore, for real. So I told CJ, like, listen, I like to be comfortable these days.
That part.
And I can still feel cute and be dressed down and not have to be wearing no dress and no heels and my feet hurting and be cold and you fill in the blank. That's how I know I've grown, because I used to do that, because I'd be like, oh, well, this ain't anniversary material, or this ain't go out to dinner material. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm like, I don't care.
Unless it's a dress code, I'm gonna wear what I want to wear.
Right. I'm cool with that now. Like, so
and a lot of women don't even understand as it relates to men. Like, I've been that woman before, and I know women, it's happened to women. You get hit on when you looking the worst. You like, I can remember years ago, I was at the gas pump. And yeah, I left the house looking real suspect. I didn't care. I just like, let me go get some gas. It was one of them days where I knew I feel like it might have been like a Sunday night, and I knew I needed to put gas. I hate putting gas in my car. I knew I needed to gas up for the week. And if I wouldn't have done it Sunday night, gotten up and just went on and did it before I went to sleep, I would have been scrambling Monday morning, trying to go to work on less than a corner of a tank of gas. It got stuck. And so, yeah, I mean, literally, hair was busted. I was like, ain't nobody gonna see me. And if they do, guess what? I don't care. Threw on a t-shirt, just did put on a bra. And I mean, just hot mess, okay? Because I was at home chilling, and this guy asked me, I gonna say hit, because hitting sounds like hitting on people, women sound like some jerk. He wasn't a jerk. But I was just, he was talking to me from the other side of the gas pump. And in my mind, I'm like that Medea TikTok. Do you see me? I see you. Do you see me? Like, do you see me?
Right.
So it's not always, it's not. And I mean, there are men who are just strictly physical. They're superficial. And that's just, if that's what you want to deal with,
right?
then that's on you. But and as far as women, in-person women, it's like, be who you are. Mm-hmm. If we going somewhere and I show up with less clothes on, that don't mean you gotta go, let me go change and put on less clothes too. If this is what you feel comfortable in, and this is what you feeling cute in, it's about how you feel. I've heard people say, there have been times where I have gotten dressed. I mean, it's been a long time. Gotten dressed up, put on makeup, whatever, and you hear that question, who you getting cute for? Myself. Yeah. I don't do my hair, my choice of clothing, honestly, and some people probably will come for me if they feel like they need to consider even in a relationship, I'm gonna move how I want to move, put my body in where I want to put it in, wear my hair the way I want to wear it, do my nails when I want to do my nails. And if he does not like it, or if whoever don't like it, well, then that's your problem. That is a you problem. That has nothing to do with me.
That statement, I forgot about that statement, because yes, I've heard that a lot.
Mm-hmm. Getting cute for myself.
And I used to really, really struggle really badly with caring what other people think. Mm-hmm. So, then you be like trying to turn yourself down a bit because somebody made that statement, like, who you trying to get cute for, as if you wrong, Mm-hmm. Yeah. I hate that statement.
Anytime I do anything that involves an enhancement, it's because I wanted to do it for myself. I'm not trying to impress him, her, them, they, none of it. I'm not. It's about, in this moment, I want to see what I look like and such and such. I want to do my hair differently. I want to do this for myself. Yeah. This has nothing to, and if you like it, you like it. And guess what? If you don't, you don't. And either way, I don't care. Yeah. I don't need you to compliment me or shade it. I don't need either of it because it's not for you. It's for me.
Yeah. Man, I'm sitting here thinking, like, do I say that to my girls? Because if I do, I need to stop. Because like I said, it's such a common statement. Who are you trying to get cute for? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I need to be conscious of that. Yeah.
And indirectly, it may be their way of complimenting you. Not that you say it. But it's
the way
like the words.
It's not gonna receive it like that.
Like, if it's meant as a compliment, give it as a compliment. Girl, you cute or whatever. Or I see, how we do. Okay, jeans, how we do. Okay, polka dots.
Why are we like that?
We're so extra. I get that. But if that's what they do, but if you truly think that I am going to, now I think the only time that I'm a ball out and it's gonna be to stunt on these hoes is on my wedding day. If I decide not to go to Just to the Piece, even then,
stunt on them hoes and Just to the Piece,
I'm gonna stunt on them. It's gonna be stunt season
all through the courthouse.
Okay. Whenever, if ever that happens, but that's it. After that, it's a wrap. But no, like, Because I feel like that's an event.
Yeah.
I'm about to, that's I'm about to. But no, but generally, like, no. You do what you want to do for you and yourself. Because again, no one is going to be a bigger cheerleader for you than you can be for yourself.
Absolutely.
We need to start learning how to be self-motivated, be our own cheerleaders, root for ourselves, tell ourselves we're doing a good job. Stop depending on other people to make you to validate, because that's just you wanting someone to validate you.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't need you to validate me. What certification you got? I got some
Right.
on my lips. I need.
Yeah. You gotta make a decision to really pat yourself on the back as often as you can. Yeah. Yeah.
Celebrate yourself.
Yes.
Stop waiting for others to do that. I had to learn it a long time ago.
And we've had that conversation before. Like, girl, why are you always looking for somebody to validate you? And I'm like,
because they're going to let you down every time. That's putting unnecessary expectations on people.
The thing is, though, it kind of stung because I don't know if you realize it, but I don't think people realize that's what they're doing.
Right.
So you kind of called me out on that, but you weren't lying. When you.
Because I've been there.
Indeed. And I had to change my mindset. Like,
and is that not how we? That's part of us helping others, right?
Yeah.
Like you go through these things, and it's like you're either going to do something or not. That's up to you. But that's part of you sharing your experiences with people.
Yeah.
Is hey, I see this in you. You hear people say that all the time. You remind me of a younger version of myself. That's them telling you that they were once there and there were some things that they did and blah, blah, blah. And they recognize those same things in you. And it's probably a flag of, hey, you might want to work on tweaking this.
Yeah.
To be a better person or better for yourself. Better person sounds like you're horrible, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, grow.
So, yeah, like...
Yeah. I could definitely appreciate this conversation. I walked away with a nugget, that whole, who you think you looking cute for? Because I think I say that to my kids, but not in the negative way, but I have to be conscious about how they might be receiving it, because my intentions might be, well, they are a compliment, because I'll be like, dang, she cute,
Okay.
But instead of saying, dang, she cute, I'm saying, who you getting cute for? And I have no idea how they're receiving that. And I need to change that, because I don't want my girls to struggle with image like I did.
All right. You want to look in the mirror and you want to be like, I love this person.
Yeah.
No matter what. Because the thing that people don't really realize is there's going to always be something that you're going to want to change about yourself. So let it go. Get over it. There's going to be things you're never going to be satisfied. And it's usually because of an outside source of how you want to be perceived.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to do this. Okay, done that. Now let me do such and such. Oh, now let me do such and such. It's just like a never ending cycle.
Absolutely. When
it comes to body image, I feel like, are you healthy? If you're not healthy, then that's when you need to be working on yourself.
Yeah. Because that's my goal for 2022. It ain't lose weight. It's
a healthier lifestyle.
Be healthier.
Because when you choose a healthier lifestyle, then all of that other stuff
it will fall in place.
It's a lifestyle. It's not a fad. It's not a trend.
Right.
All of that other stuff will come with it. So,
because when you focus on just the weight, that is temporary, because just like dieting, you're doing it for a certain period of time just to lose the weight. Then what happens
then
next?
What?
Then you be putting that weight back on because you stopped. You never changed your lifestyle as a whole. It was just temporary.
Or you lose the weight and now you're moving on to something else that you're complaining about. Like, what is you complaining about yourself now? Like, what's in the world? It's like, just live your, you spend so much time trying to create this perfect look.
Yeah.
But what you need to be working on is what's on the inside. Because every time you're tearing yourself down, every time you do something, like you're slowly tearing yourself down and apart. And next thing you know, you got your personality done change, your characteristics done change. You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, yeah, you might be looking one way on the outside, but what about who you are as a person? That's the person people have to live with.
Yeah, absolutely. And then just
So
keeping in mind, I made a statement not too long ago to someone. If God didn't create us all to be the same,
that part.
if he wanted us to be the same, we would have been created robotic. You know, we were all uniquely made in his image, period. So regardless of how you look, you were still his masterpiece in his image. So we're all working, well, not maybe all, but a lot of people are working to look like that same cutout sheet.
Everybody want to look the same and sound the same, and it's like,
and we really need to learn how to literally think that way, that we're supposed to look different. We're supposed to be different. And we're supposed to be okay with that, because God created us that way, intentionally. So how, and I mean, like I said, this conversation the other day, how dare I be upset? How dare I? When he specifically created me in his image.
Well, girl, yeah, I just, those are things that I had. That was part of my journey from the insecurity.
Okay.
Learning, because I think about, if I would have really allowed those people who used to talk about me and my weight and call me fat. Oh, my skin was horrible. I mean, I ain't had like the worst skin. I mean, I feel like I got worse skin now than I did then. If I would have allowed that stuff, but I don't know why I didn't, because I was a child. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know. God had my grandma before she passed. I'm gonna tell you, I think I've told you this before, but she told me to my face that she was, proud that and at that point, I'm like, was 20, 21, 22. But she told me she was proud of how I turned out. And I was like, how I turned out? And I'm like, Grandma, I got 2 kids. I'm just going on. I'm struggling and blah, blah, blah. But she was talking about me as a person, even though she didn't know that I was still battling and going through those things. But I still, I guess, held myself together, because she knew about a lot of stuff that I had been going through. You know what I'm saying? She saw it. And that I took with me. And that kind of, that made me stronger. That made me a better person. And it took time. I mean, even up until, I'm gonna say like I said, 2016, not so much just insecurities, but just finding a healthier mental space. It was 2016 was like the major shift in my life. And that's when I mentally shifted. And then 2017, I was like, you gotta get, I don't want to, I was like, I gotta get back. But I realized, I was like, no, I don't want to get back to that place. I don't want to be in that place. We often say, I want things to be back the way they were. No, I don't want them to be the way they were. I want them to be better than what they were. Yeah. And so I had to make choices that benefited me. I had to put in some work mentally and physically, to get myself to the mental space that I'm at now. And I mean, I battled depression and anxiety and all of that. I just was very functional with it, because for some reason, no matter how low I got, God wouldn't let me too low. Because I also, like I said, I tell people every day, Jalen and Khalil saved my life. And I feel like, I'm not for teenage pregnancy. I mean, I was 19.
Right.
in 20 when I had both, my kids. But, and yeah, we had our struggles, but I feel you cannot make me believe that they were not put in my life for that specific reason to keep me
Yeah.
going. So
I feel you.
that's that on that.
I do.
But honey, if you are battling insecurities, kick that ish to the curb.
Please, sis or sir,
Okay,
bro.
because honey, those people who, and oftentimes, I'm not even say oftentimes, it's a fact. People tear you down because they feel bad about themselves. And those people who are tearing people down, I want you to go figure out what's wrong with you. Like, why do you feel the need to come for people and to make people feel bad about themselves?
Yeah.
Like, what is it wrong? What is the issue with you?
Yeah.
And when people really recognize that, they'll also be better to themselves. Like,
Yeah.
people are negative because they're miserable.
Miserable. Misery loves company. Straight up.
And don't let them pull you in.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let them pull you in.
Nope.
If you need some scissors, I got some. Because I keep a pair handy. You have to protect your space.
You do. You really do. Set
Because
those boundaries.
that's how
That's a
all of
part
that
of
stuff is.
self-love is
Mm-hmm.
setting those boundaries
Mm-hmm.
and you following those boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, communicating those boundaries to the people in your life.
Let them know this is the line you cannot cross.
And stick to it.
Period. It is not going to be comfortable. It's not going to feel good. But everybody's not meant to go.
That I'm gonna tell y'all or everybody in the room.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one thing that Capree taught me last year about self-love was setting those boundaries. That's a part of self-love. Before that, I had no idea. But once I started practicing that and applying that to every relationship in my life, y'all, I be floating. The vibes be positive. I mean, I have, I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
But 90% of the time, I'm straight because I'm not letting you cross that line with me no more. I don't care who you are.
Period.
And that's that on it.
And that's just the way it's got to be. Because
life is so much more peaceful, man. Like, yeah, still some work to do, but peaceful.
But there's gonna always be something that we have to work on.
Yeah.
But it is important to protect your space. It is so important. It is so important. And I just wish I would have known this sooner, because people make you feel like you are obligated to their mess.
Yeah.
Because of who you are to them, whether it's family, whether it's husband, whatever. No, I'm not obligated to your crap.
Yeah. And I think another part too about this insecurities that I want to pass along is prioritize what's important. Like for real. Is that really that important? Whatever it is, prioritize what's important in life. Some things don't really deserve all of that you're giving it.
They don't.
Because the insecurities, that is negative, right? So you really have to prioritize what's important and what really deserves that negative energy, vibe, thoughts, whatever you want to call it.
Because you'll be fighting battles every day.
Yeah.
That's exhausting.
That are totally unnecessary. If you really sit down and evaluate what is important and prioritize it, I promise you'll see that you've been wasting time.
There's this lady. There's this lady on TikTok. I saw her video. I wonder if I saved it. She created a video. I'm gonna see if I can find it. If I can find it, I'll leave a link to it in the description. Well, down in the bottom. She talked about how many ifs we give as life goes on, and how many F's we should carry around with us. And of course, in the beginning, of course, when I'm on TikTok, I'm looking for laughter. Okay, that is my place to, because that is my daily objective. I don't think I've ever shared this with anybody, but this has always been my personal daily objective. I have objectives every day. My number one daily objective is to laugh. My second one is to make someone else laugh. Those are my top two objectives every day, is laughter.
Yeah.
And when I be on TikTok, tears. Okay, I be in tears, but I saw the video, and initially I just was dying, but it was funny, but it was meant as a message, and that is part of the message. You have to choose, prioritize, meaning how many F's are you going to give? How many F's are you going to carry around in your pocket daily? You got to pick and choose which ones you really give an F about. And those are things, the rest of that stuff don't even matter, because you will find yourself exhausted. There is nothing worse than mental exhaustion.
No.
It can really just mess up your life.
It's literally cutting day by day by day off of your life. Every time you carry around all those F's.
The stress, whether it's work. I had a patient who was getting injections in his eye because he went temporarily blind behind stress from work. What? 2-week notice? What? I quit today. Okay.
For real.
There is no way that I'm going to allow this world to stress me out like that. Even when I was depressed, having full of anxiety, there is no way I'm gonna allow other people to stress me out when I have the power to just leave. Because you can't. The other part is people put energy into trying to change people. People will do what they want to do when they want to do it.
Yep.
So
that's where those boundaries come in.
I'm gonna leave you today.
Because you can't change people, but you can
control
draw the line.
And you can control what you do and what you say and how you move.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to find that video. I'm gonna send it to you, but I'm gonna try to remember I'm gonna try to find it and send it to you, and then I'm gonna also put it in the link. But it was just a funny way of her representing boundaries.
Yeah.
And priorities, not boundaries, but priorities. And you have to prioritize what is most important in your life. What are you gonna fight for? Those are your F's.
Yep.
Everything else, F them.
Right, F it.
And she was saying, as we get older, we have less. And I agree. We have way less F's to give.
Yeah, I see that in elderly people. They really
don't care.
Care.
I aspire. Like my grandfather
he had zero
goals.
Zero. Yeah. So please, cousins, if you would, comment your experiences. Did you have any insecurities growing up? If yes, what and why? And have you overcome them as an adult? And if so, how? And I personally would really love to hear from a male, because I rarely hear about insecurities from a male's perspective, but they have to exist. They have to.
Absolutely.
But we don't hear about them. So I would really, really, really love to hear or see a comment from a male.
You want to know real quick why we don't hear about them? We feel them in relationships.
Yeah. You're right.
But we still want to know. Just saying.
You're right.
They act out their insecurities for real.
You're right. Because they're taught not to voice. Anyway.
So
that's a whole nother subject for a whole nother
we definitely want to hear, the feedback on the man. And we want to help each other, talk to each other in the comments, because you'll never know that something that you've gone through of experience. You never know who may see your comment and who you may help get on the right path. So don't be afraid. It's a no judgment zone. It's a judgment free zone here. We ain't judging you. If you want to judge us, that's fine, but it is what it is. But it's a judgment free zone, because everybody is different. No one in this world is perfect. So
I might be able to learn something from y'all.
That part, because
again, I'm still growing. I'm still working on that. So come on. Any comments y'all have, feedback, suggestions, practices that you guys have done or are doing to help you with your insecurities, please, yes. Share.
And if y'all have any topics y'all want us to discuss, drop them anytime in the comments. We will be online 30 minutes to an hour after the video post on each video to respond to comments. So anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour, unless I can sit up and talk all day and night, but I'm giving it an hour max. Just to converse with you guys, via the comment section. So, definitely get the typing, because I want to hear. I'm interested in hearing you guys' perspective on things and hearing your experiences. So I guess we're gonna wrap things up. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Cuzn Collective, and we hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe, turn on your notifications, hit that like button, and tell a friend
to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend,
and tell all their friends. We'll see you next time, cousins.